guys! Welcome to the 7th video in my Python course. Today we're going to talk about if and if-else statements, which are basically instructions that allow us to run different blocks of code based on logical conditions. If you haven't seen my last Python tutorial, I recommend you do that. I'll have it linked below because it covers some aspects we're going to use today. Also want to let you guys know really quickly that I changed the font size. I made it bigger because some of you guys were complaining about that, so hope that's fixed now. Let's start with an if statement and let's look at our syntax. That's basically it. It starts with the keyword if and then the condition we want to look at, where we can use everything we discussed in the last video. So anything that returns a true or false value can be used here. For example, we could write that. So after that, we write a colon, and then, after an indent, the instruction we want to run if the condition is true. So the code will run if the condition is true. If it's false, no code will be run and the program will move on. Code indentation is auto-generated in most code editors after you hit enter to create a new line. And it's important to check it because it's how Python checks which structure each line of code belongs to. Let's look at this example. We want to get our user to type their favorite number, and we'll then check whether it's the same as ours. For that, we create a variable fav and assign it to the input function with the text we're showing the user. And then we go with our if statement. Then, if we run the code and input 5, nothing will happen because 5 is not equal to 7, my actual favorite number. So the condition isn't true and the message won't show. But if we run our program again and input 7, we'd expect to see the message, but it doesn't come up. Why not? The problem is the input function gives us data as characters or strings, and the comparison with our condition can't happen because the numbers there are integers. What we have to do then is cast the input function, typing int ahead of it so we can compare two integers. So after that, we run the program again and we'll see that it works. Perfect. Moving on to the if-else structure. There are moments where we want our code to run a certain instruction if a condition is true and a different instruction if it isn't. For that, we could do this. The problem with this is that it's not clear that only one of them should be run. And we'll also get a slower program because we have two conditions to check. To solve these problems and make your code smoother, we have if-else statements. The basic structure is this. To understand it better, we can look at this example. If we run this example, we'll see it works as expected. If we input 5, then the answer will be. And if we input 7, the answer is. Now what would happen if what we want is to check for a second condition if the first one isn't true? For example, we could check if the input number is equal to 7, and if it isn't, then check that it's greater than 7. For that, we can use in the if statement, which works similarly to if-else statements, albeit in a sort of cascading way. We can look at it this way. If we run this example, we'll see that if we input 7, the first message shows. But if we input 10, then the second message shows. And if we input 2, the third message will show. If structures can be repeated as many times as required, and the idea is they only perform their respective checks after the previous ones failed, meaning returned false. For example, we can make it so that if your favorite number isn't 7, then check if it's 10, our second favorite number. In that case, and there you go. Hope that all made sense. That's it for today. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and code up.